Come here now, girl.
Hello and welcome to Map Making in Cities Skylines with me, BonBonB. I'm BonBonB and of course you are very, very welcome. But you knew that already, didn't you? Right, well today is technically part 4, although those of you that joined me last week will know that part 3 was a bit of a non-event. For some reason there was zero light. It was like working in eternal darkness. In a pit we were. It was horrible. A few of you suggested the problem might be Daylight Classic, and it indeed was. In fact, Daylight Classic was my first suspicion as well, but I ran out of time to try and fix it last week. Now, what exactly was the problem with Daylight Classic? Well, actually, I don't know really. I haven't had time to go into all the details with it. I just disenabled it, and finally we have light in the map editor. Whatever the problem with Daylight Classic is, just say that it didn't affect the main play at all. I mean, we're still putting out map reviews on a daily basis, and, well, they were all bright and happy, weren't they? They weren't like Eternal Doom, were they? No. So I don't know. I don't really know what the problem is. I may go and have a look in the settings in more detail. But the thing is, none of the settings were changed. So I don't know what the problem is with that. Anyway, today we're coming back to Duvo, the working title for this map. And I want to start working. We spent the first 2 full episodes working on the island shapes and getting the basics set. This is going to be a tides map for the TPB's tides mod. And so anyway, this is at full tide at the moment, so I wanted to get a feel for the true shape of the islands at full tide. What we have here is, this is a small island, you can see obviously one of the small islands. I looked at this island and I felt it was a little bit too big for what I want it to be. You'll see a little bit more detail by the end of the episode what I've got in mind for this island. Still early days, still very early days. The main harbour that we started today's episode on the main island, I felt it was just too cavernous. I want it to be like a small, almost like a fishing, touristy type harbour, and of course each one of these tiles is 2 kilometres square, and even at its narrowest point that particular harbour was like a kilometre across. That's a big old harbour. So I need to tidy that up, and I can guarantee that by the end of this series, when this map is ready to go, that harbour will be narrowed up a lot as well. I'm going to be jumping from area to area, just putting in details and tweaking. That's the thing with maps. You make something and you go, that's a good idea. Oh, it doesn't quite. It's really nice actually. No, I like it. And then you change something else and it doesn't really work anymore. And you're constantly fiddling and tweaking some more. You can start off with an overall plan, but not necessarily one that's going to be your end plan. So anyway, this particular island, I wanted it to be a little bit more craggy. It's got to find that fine balance between craggy and not too craggy, because the overall shape of this, it has to fit with the main island. This is a really tricky fine balance, and it's going to, I think, require a lot of coming back to over the coming weeks, this island, just to get the balance right on it, especially around this side of the island here, which is going to be really rocky. You can see I'm making the cliffs as steep as the game will let me. I'd like them to be a little bit steeper if at all possible. So yes, the detailing on this is going to be tricky. Here I am trying to find a decent brush size. I just can't. I want it a brush size 10, and it won't let me go anything lower than 51 even by typing the number in. So it's either 1 or 51. So yes, it's one of those things that you just got to make a decision. Are you working with a big brush or are you working with a point editor? Bit of annoyance that was. But yes, this is just me reshaping the island, making it a little bit smaller while still giving us these like slightly rougher edges, and we'll come back and, like I say, we'll add a little bit more detail or a lot of bit more detail later on in the build itself. The other thing I'm doing as well is bringing down the seabed a little bit, because otherwise it's going to be like 3 inches deep. And when the tide goes out, a lot of the seabed will be visible. Once again, this will be something we'll be coming back to a lot over the coming weeks, just getting it just right. But for now, just getting the seabed just a little bit deeper, while enabling us to have some like rocks and sandbanks, which we will once again add more detail to later. But I'm preferring this little bit of a smoothing tool over there, just to give a little bit of a slightly smoothing effect there. So yes, now I'm looking at the island going, am I about right? Not entirely. I'm not entirely happy with it, but we'll add a little bit of cragginess there and smooth it in, just edging it in again. Yes, just trying to give it the island a little bit of shape, because this is going to be a bit of a feature island. And one of the features we're going to be putting in is actually going to be in this natural harbour. I just need to tidy this little peninsula up a little bit, just a wee bit. And yes, we're going to be using one of the vanilla assets. I think you might have seen it before in our shows. One of the vanilla assets will live in here. And then on the other side of the island, there it is, the jetty. You knew I was going to pop that in, didn't you? Got to try and find the right angle. Now, once again, when the tide goes out, that'll be a dry jetty. So you'll only be able to boat out to the lighthouse island at high tide. And then you'll not be able to use jetty because obviously it's obsolete. It's a dead jetty. Now the thing with this particular map is I want to add quite a bit of detail, maybe fewer set piece details than I had in Merrickstowe. Like with Merrickstowe, we had the collapsed rail bridge, we had the sundial, we had the Clanborough Castle. We had what else we have? We have loads of other stuff. Oh, the dry river, the quarry in the dry river, all sorts of other. We had loads of stuff going on. I'm probably going to have less set pieces in this particular map, but I probably want to do a little bit more detail, especially with foliage. And I haven't really decided what trees we're going to be using. But yes, there'll be a path running from the jetty to the lighthouse, although it probably won't actually be a footpath. It'll probably be just a detail path, maybe with some resource painting, and certainly with trees and bushes marking out the line of the route. That's probably the way it's going to work. Now the first roads, hurrah, it had to happen eventually, and it happens today. Now I had a little bit of problem here with because I got the road settings wrong. Pop the roads down, look, it's all drowning, and then why is all that all happening? And yes, I've got the -7 meter setting in the fine road tool. I'm not sure, but yes, this is easily fixed using move it, of course, dragging the whole lot up and then just elevating it all. Finding the right level is a tricky one. This is going to be a causeway. And once again, this is at high tide, so it doesn't need to be any higher than this. It won't actually go any higher than this. But I'm just trying to find that point where sucking in the water there and coming back up again. I tweaked around with this for a little while until finally got it in place at the right level. Now, this is going to be the main road onto the island via a causeway, a bridge, in fact a couple of bridges as well, and a little tunnel, which we will get to probably in the next couple of weeks as well. And then I think it's one of these maps that once I got the roads in, it'll give me a little bit more feel for the actual size of the island, because that's the other thing. The island is, it's about 4 kilometers square, which is quite large for a small island. For building a city in Cities Skylines, you might want a lot more space than that. But what I really wanted to do was make it just feel cozy and like a small village build. I don't want it to be too big, so I think I'm going to have to be a bit clever with the actual detailing to give the feel of just building a small town. Now, well, use move it there just to duplicate the roads we know the roads are the same distance apart. I might need to adjust them to align them a little bit better with the terrain and stuff. I'm just going to move it again just to plot down these roads here, and they are about the right level as well. That's great. I like the way that Move It does that. And we'll probably have to do some terraforming just to get these all to fit in nicely, and see if we can just switch on the anarchy. Road anarchy there works nicely as well. Something I'm going to be doing in the next few weeks as well. I've been doing some beginners guides on Sundays. I missed the last couple of weeks. This week we did a Champions League special for the upcoming Liverpool Real Madrid match. So we've got a Cities Skylines Champions League special on the channel at the moment. And what did we do the week before? Oh, I've forgotten. Oh, I don't know. But yes, I'm going to be doing some beginners guides to it's what I'm going to call essential mods. For those of you that are a little bit nervous about mods, it's not something that comes natural to a lot of us, really. It's something that I was very afraid of for the longest time. Is this going to kill my computer? Are people going to be able to hack me and things like this? And of course, it doesn't quite work that way, does it? if only it did. But no, it's much simpler than that. So what I'm going to do in the next few weeks is, on each individual Sunday, I'm going to look at one. It's what I would call an essential mod. Ones that take the base game and just improve it to a point that it's not really cheating. It's not cheating at all. It's just what the game should just allow you to do if it was sorry, Paradox and Colossal Order, if it was better written. And they are adding these things to the game all the time as well, so I wouldn't be surprised if we had the equivalent of the Move It mod added to the base game at some point in the future. And if it is, I really hope the Sam TS is given a nice little waiver, a nice little fee for just the idea, even if they don't actually take any of his coding. That would be an amazing thing. So anyway, this is one of the bridges. There's no shipping route going through here. This is going to be far too shallow for shipping. The shipping just goes around the top of the map and down the right hand side of the map. This is no worry about shipping here, so no shipping clipping will be happening. Absolutely guarantee it. Just making sure that the roads are exactly the same level there and there. And I just got to remember not to tweak with the seabed height at those locations. Otherwise, that's going to throw out all of my work. And I guarantee it will. I will come and tweak the seabed and then have to change this bridge later. Guarantee it. But yes, the fine road anarchy is something that enables me to pop down these roads right next to each other, and the game will allow it. It also turns Chirper a bright colour of orange up the top as well. Oh, I hate him. I hate that bird. So anyway, we're getting towards the end of today's show now. I think we just might have time to connect up these roads here, so we can connect up the main island to the mainland. Yes, just stopping the clipping. The clip 2 there, and nicely done. Have to undo anarchy now. There we go. Otherwise, it won't. It'll try and put one road on top of the other. Yes, there's one of these things where it won't work exactly right first time, but then you Move It and it works perfectly. So this is the map is coming together slowly. There's a lot of detailing to come. A lot of detailing, and I've got a custom theme that I will be building and sharing with you to get this map looking exactly how I want it to, especially with the tides. I want the ground textures just to look like it's real. And yes, I know, jinky janky roads there. Come on, sort yourself out, BonBonB. It's a long job building a map. And I don't know, just hopefully you watching me here will encourage you to just to have a go. But like I say, I mean, this is these shows are at double speed. I'm not actually working this fast in real time, double speed. So we are now where are we? An hour and a half into the map build in real time, and this is all I've achieved. This is all I've achieved in an hour and a half. But I want it to be right, I want it to work, and I want it to be playable and enjoyed by as many of you as possible. So anyway, that's going to be about it for today while we just move these roads together. Obviously, don't forget we do have a map reviews from you guys. If you can build a map and just let me know, and I might even just review it on my regular map review show, What's Map. And hundreds, if not thousands of people will see your map and hopefully subscribe to it if it's any good, which I'm sure it will be. So yes, we'll pan down here just for a little closing shot of the lighthouse and the jetty. Well, thanks for watching, commenting, liking and subscribing. Join me every single day of the week for more and exciting things to do within Cities Skylines. Have a great day. I'll see you very, very soon.